Joining us now, Texas Congressman Pat Fallon from Armed Services. Congressman, we're so happy to have you on. Okay, Vice President Kamala Harris, now she says she will go to the border, but she's not saying when she's going to go, right? And she laughed this off multiple times, saying she's not going to get involved in, quote, grand gestures, saying this is essentially unnecessary political theater. Do you think she's going to go?
I don't know, but it's absolutely necessary to go. She was anointed and appointed the Border Czar 77 days ago, and the very first thing you should do is go to the border. I've been there several times because you have to ask the people on the ground what's happening. And she's blaming this not on, Biden's insistence on canceling policies that worked under President Trump, like the wait in Mexico policy, increased deportations, building a border wall. But she's blaming it on climate change. I mean, Elon Musk shouldn't bother going to space because Kamala Harris is already on another planet.
Well, okay, we heard that one. Okay, so, the thing is, she wasn't laughing when critics say she wasn't laughing when she, as you point out, when she was using the border to attack Trump. She wasn't laughing then. And, the question is, as you point out, if she's in charge of it, shouldn't she be viewing the problem firsthand, looking at the end result of the border policies by the Biden administration, not just root causes? Let's watch Vice President Harris here talking about the border. Watch this.
You see both the front end and the back end. Why not go to the border as well so that you do see the full complexity?
Listen, I've been to the border before. I will go again. But when I'm in Guatemala dealing with root causes, I think we should have a conversation about what's going on in Guatemala.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay. At some point, we are going to the border, and I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making. I'm not discounting the importance of the border.
I came here to be here on the ground to speak with the leader of this nation around what we can do in a way that is significant, is tangible, and has real results. And I will continue to be focused on that kind of work as opposed to grand gestures.
What do you say, Congressman?
I'm really disgusted because the root cause of this border crisis, the Biden border crisis, is we have a de facto open border. People are pouring across the border. They're being let in. Then the American taxpayers are paying for them and their transit, usually on flights, believe it or not, all across the country. The drug cartels are ferrying these people from southern Mexico and Central America, and then they work for the cartels when they get here. This is a human smuggling and sexual trafficking operation, the likes of which humanity has never seen before. And for her to laugh this off and say those are the root causes, because those folks, when they get here, call home and say, yeah, come on over. They take care of you, and they don't send us back. That's what's happening here.
The FBI says effectively this is a crime zone, what's happening at the border. Put out a statement that the border is now a multi-billion-dollar industry of crime, drug smuggling, human trafficking, even murder and extortion. And drugs are pouring in. You know about this. Fentanyl overdose deaths are up 25% in New Mexico. The Southwest and the West Coast is getting hit hard with drug overdoses and opioid and fentanyl trafficking. So, when you listen to what the Vice President is saying, she's talking about these vague deals with Mexico, and she's admitting that they didn't talk about Mexico not taking back illegal immigrants. And then you've got Mexico, El Salvador, and Guatemala saying, yeah, the Biden administration's policies created the border crisis. So, what's the result of this trip?
Guatemalan President Yamati blamed the border crisis on Biden. The president of Mexico, Obrador, blamed the border crisis on Biden. And the numbers the numbers don't lie here. Under President Trump in 2020, there were 646,000 border crossings. There have already been 171,000 illegal border crossings in the first 4 months, which means we're on track for about 2.6 million this year. It is unsustainable. And we have to, and the real reason why she doesn't want to come to the border is because, just like Senator Cruz said, the press will follow them, and then they're going to have to actually address the crisis. The mainstream media is ignoring it, and so is the White House.
So is this just about optics? I mean, they could have just picked up the phone and said, Central America, keep the strong border policies that we're going to cut into your trade deals. I mean, we've seen the optics before. Empty facilities that were, Democrat congressmen even out of Texas saying these are fake photos showing empty facilities when you just moved illegal immigrants to another facility. So is this just about optics?
Yeah, because certain policies work, and we know that. Nobody's going to come from Central America illegally and risk, like in women, there's been very few people talk about this, but most young women, 30% of them experience the horrors of the lawlessness in Mexico with being victims of either sexual assault or rape along the journey. Who wants to take that journey if at the very end of it, when you get to the United States, you have to wait in Mexico anyway, and you're denied entry? That will stop the flow. President Trump did that. There was a flood, and then it became a trickle. And then Biden took over, and then Kamala Harris blames climate change. I'll agree with her on this. It was climate change, all right. It was the climate that changed at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue come January 20th of this year. That's what changed things.
All right, Congressman Pat Fallon, it's good to have you on. Come back soon, okay?
Thank you so much. God bless. Take care.